The more I work and practice, the luckier I seem to get. To succeed in life, one must have determination and must be prepared to suffer during the process. If one isn't prepared to suffer during adversities, I don't really see how he can be successful. A strong mind is one of the key components that separates the great from the good. Simply by making the effort to start something, you will be miles ahead of almost everyone else. It's a marriage. If I had to choose between my wife and my putter, well, I'd miss her. The harder you work, the luckier you get. We create success or failure on the course primarily by our thoughts. Enjoy the game. Happy golf is good golf. I am tired of all these golfers who are happy with second place. The only one who will like you if you come in second place is your wife and your dog. And that is only if you have a good wife and a good dog. Golf is a puzzle without an answer. I've played the game for 40 years, and I still haven't the slightest idea how to play. The player who expects a lesson to take without subsequent practice just isn't being honest with himself or fair to his professional. If you think your hands are more important in your golf swing than your legs, try walking a hole on your hands. If there's a golf course in heaven, I hope it's like Augusta National. I just don't want an early tee time. I got so strong, I felt like a giant. When I stood on the tee with Arnold and Jack, I was tiny compared to them. But I never believed they were bigger than me. So the mind is so fascinating. You must work very hard to become a natural golfer. If you are going to keep company with me, don't embarrass me. First, educate yourself about what a vegan diet entails and why it is beneficial to your health. You need to understand and embrace the philosophy, or you will not be able to make such a drastic dietary change. Secondly, make the change over time. Don't try and go cold turkey. You will shock your system and you will develop cravings that you may not be able to fight off. If you take your time and let your body adjust, you will be eating a completely different diet before you realize it. Golf asks something of a man. It makes one loathe mediocrity. It seems to say, if you are going to keep company with me, don't embarrass me. I try to work with God as a partner. That loss was to breed an independence, a toughness of spirit, and an awareness of adversity and discipline that have never left me. There's absolutely nothing humorous at the Masters. Here, small dogs do not bark, and babies do not cry. The ideal build for a golfer would be strong hands, big forearms, thin neck, big thighs, and a flat chest. He'd look like Popeye. Wind is part of the British Open. It is an examination, and it took me a long time to pass the examination. 80% of the fellows out there have not passed the test. Perhaps the most important thing I can tell you about equipment is to experiment and keep an open mind. I rarely eat red meat and only occasionally eat fish. Plant-based foods are my main source of nutrition, along with nuts, fruits, brown breads, and grains. I've studied golf for almost 50 years now and know a hell of a lot about nothing. When traveling, I make a point of eating a proper diet, no matter where I am in the world. It is getting much easier to eat a vegetarian or vegan-based diet. Golf is a puzzle without an answer. The pressure gets worse the older you get. The hole starts to look the size of a Bayer aspirin. But golf, being an international game, and everybody loving the game the way they do, if you want to spread the game of golf, it's good that you have great competition. The first time I ever saw Arnold Palmer, I said, "There's a star." The first time I saw Jack Nicklaus, I said, "Superstar." I feel the same way about Tiger Woods. When you play the game for fun, it's fun. When you play it for a living, it's a game of sorrows. You can always speak with great authority on how well you played today, but never on how you'll play tomorrow. I wish I could put a patent on that thing. That was so straight, I had to lean over sideways to see the flag. The closer you can live to being a vegetarian, the better. Everyone wants to be known as a great striker of the ball for some reason. Nobody wants to be called a lucky one putting S-O-B. I don't have any hesitation saying I've traveled more miles than any human being who ever lived. I've been doing it for 60 years. Each shot is important. The more I practice, the luckier I become. I always said that if they have a golf course like this in heaven, I want to be the head pro. I think that if people would be willing to grow some of their own food or eat locally grown organic foods on a regular basis, we could significantly decrease the amount of harmful chemicals we pump into our soil every day. When a rules man gives you a ruling, that's it. Amen. There are many people who enjoy animal-based foods and who have no interest in changing the way they eat. And as you correctly pointed out, animal products are an integral part of some ethnic groups and societies, and it would be nearly impossible for them to change thousands of years of traditional eating habits.